Welcome back to our final lesson on minor scales. So far we've discussed natural minor and harmonic minor, and this time we're going to talk about melodic minor. In our last lesson we talked about harmonic minor and why we raise that seventh scale degree in harmonic minor. And if you remember, basically the reason we do that is because our second most foundational chord, which is a chord built off the fifth scale degree, that's our dominant chord, we don't want a minor chord. We want a major chord. No matter if we're in a minor key or a major key, most of the time, the chord built off the fifth scale degree, we want to be major, not minor. And so by raising that seventh scale degree, it allows us to have a major chord there when we've built it off the fifth scale degree. The melodic form is similar but different from the harmonic form. So you can see here with this example of an F-sharp melodic minor scale that they raise the sixth and seventh scale degrees on the way up, but they don't do anything to them on the way down. So the reason that matters is because as we move up a scale, for example, a major scale seems much more final when you get to the eighth note than a minor scale does. And a lot of that has to do with the sixth and the seventh of the scale, especially the seventh. When we give notes names in our scale, like 1 being the tonic and 5 being the dominant, the seventh scale degree, when it is only a semitone from the upper tonic, gets called the leading note or leading tone because it leads the scale towards the tonic. And when that seventh scale degree isn't a semitone away from the tonic, it doesn't have the same name and it doesn't have the same push towards the tonic. So as we're playing a line that's ascending in a melodic minor form, we're going to raise that sixth and seventh to sound more almost like a major scale. But if we're coming back down, because we're not moving towards the tonic, those intervals aren't as important in this context. So let's talk about how we make our melodic minor scale. Let's go back for a second. So similar to our harmonic minor scale, when we're writing a melodic minor scale, we want to start off with our natural minor scale first. So here we can see the key signature of F sharp minor written down, and we can just write the notes from F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then down E, D, C, B, A, G, F. Then we want to come in and raise that sixth and seventh by a chromatic semitone on the way up or while ascending. And we don't have to include those accidentals after the bar line, because remember, the bar line cancels accidentals. So you go from hearing this to hearing this. So, please take the next few minutes to answer the questions on your first page by first writing in your natural minor and then raising it in the melodic form. Notice that these lines do not have bar lines, but you can add those yourself so that you don't have to put in accidentals to lower the notes back on the way down. So in the first one, you are going to do your scales ascending and descending. And then on the second part, question 24, only the scale ascending. So please do that now. All right, so next we're going to use those same skills, but practice them when we don't have a key signature. So notice here in the key of C sharp natural minor, all but 3 of the notes are sharpened. So that means that we have 4 sharps in our key signature. In this case, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. So the first thing we're going to do is write out our natural minor scale, including the accidentals next to the note that need to be there. Remember that we have our semitones between the second and third note and the fifth and sixth note, and we show that here with those little slur lines between those. So here we have C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, and then moving back down. Then, just like we did in the previous one, we raise that 6th and 7th on the way up. They get canceled by the bar line, and they do not need accidentals on the way down. So now you are going to practice writing these melodic minor scales, first putting in the accidentals of the natural minor and then adding in that raised 6th and 7th on the way up. And then you're going to write descending scales in question number 26. So none of those 6ths and 7ths will be raised. They will all be regular. And you have just practiced all of these, I believe, in the previous section. Notice in section 25, A minor, C sharp minor, E minor, B minor, and down here, B minor, E minor, C sharp minor, and A minor. So please do that page next. Great. So now we've seen sharp key signatures. Now we want to take a look at some flat key signatures. So we're going to do the same thing like we've always done here. We're using a key signature. We're going to put our key signature in and then write out all the notes from our natural minor scale. Here we're dealing with G natural minor, which has 2 flats, and then we write from G up to G and back down to G for our natural minor scale. Now, this is a little bit different from that harmonic one because we didn't have an example like this. But notice, depending on the key signature, you might have to do different things to your notes. So in raising our 6th and 7th scale degree, our 6th scale degree is a flat. So we would, in order to raise that a semitone, we would put a natural next to it. Now our 7th scale degree was a natural, so instead of putting a natural next to a flat, we would put that sharp to raise the natural. And very simply, that's all you're going to do here in question 27 and 28. So first you're going to write in your key signature, then write the ascending and descending notes for the natural minor scale, and then raise your 6th and 7ths on the way up, adding that bar line to make sure to cancel them on the way down. And then on 28, basically they're all going to look like descending natural minor scales, because in the melodic form, there is no alteration in a descending scale. So please go ahead and finish those questions now. Finally, you're going to work on these flat key signatures without a key signature. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to write in all your accidentals, because they're not going to be in the key signature, and then go ahead and raise that 6th and 7th. Notice here that in our example of a melodic minor scale in C melodic minor, they do not write in a natural next to the A and the B on the way up, because there is no key signature. So you don't need to tell the person that that is an A natural and that is a B flat. But don't forget to put the B flat and the A flat back in after the bar line. So in question 29, the first thing you're going to do is to figure out, is it in treble clef or bass clef? So when they say D minor, that means the first note has to be a D. Now, is that a D in the treble clef or the bass clef? So you'll have to make that choice. Then write in your accidentals for your key signature, and then raise that 6th and 7th on the way up. Finally, you're going to write 4 ascending key signatures using the exact same key signatures you just did. So they're going to look like the key signatures you just did. The first bar of them is basically what you're going to fill into question number 30. And with that, you should know all about minor scales. So please complete this page and then make sure to hand it in to me on time. Thanks so much for a great year, and I can't wait to see what we're able to do next year.